Hey, Amber, you're first. How's it going, everybody? Waiting for a few people to get in. We got 50, 60 something people now. See how many more pile in real quick before I start. I'm doing good. So I'm heading towards home. Of course, I'm near home. I was over at Janet's for a little bit. So nobody else was doing the update for it, so I decided I'd do the update, let you guys know what happened today. Now the update is, all right, today there was the defense witnesses put up, of course. So Pikes went up, Liberty went up, Silent Citizen went up, and Eric did testify on his own behalf. Now that had to have been the most interesting thing of it all, was Eric testifying. He got to say all the stuff that he wanted to say when the defense was up, and then when it was the district attorney's turn, that was the interesting part. So he basically put Eric's character on trial by bringing up previous videos and other charges they still have pending, mind you. Still pending charges on him, and they're bringing it up in the court, including videos. And it's like, wow, they're making things really screwed up. Oh, Eric was tearing up the DA. The DA was personally attacking him, of course. And Eric's answers were just stellar. So, yeah, that shit was very confusing, because it didn't attack him about using the flashlight. Actually, the flashlight I don't think ever actually came up when the DA had him on the stand. And he was attacking his character rather than the flashlight use. So he's bringing up everything but the flashlight, pretty much. Other videos about him saying that random shooting of police that he advocates for, things like that. And it was like really interesting. They really, really, really want to silence him for his speech, is what it looked like. Yeah, exactly. Fabricating suspicion. Yes, that is true. That is very true. So, anyways, they got as far as, well, it was, what time was it when they were done? Somewhere around 4 or close to 4. And they said they had to do 15 minutes roughly of getting it straight what the instructions were going to be to the jury. And they needed to do final arguments. So they gave the jury the choice of whether to leave early and do it in the morning, or to do part of it tonight, and they'd still have to be there in the morning. And the jury, of course, opted to get out of there early tonight. No, they haven't even began to deliberate yet. So tomorrow morning when they come in,
Say a command.
they will get the final arguments for it. And no, there's an update. They're going to get the final arguments, and then they're going to get their instructions, and then they're going to deliberate. So overall, it was actually probably a good strategy to take up the afternoon doing Eric's, because if Eric had not testified, the jury might have felt rushed to do a deliberation to have it done today. So, waiting for what? Cop stops to come back? Oh, okay. So, anyways, it will be deliberated in the morning, and final arguments, closing arguments, will be heard, and the jury instructions will be spelled out. All of the stuff that the DA had when Eric was up there on the stand, the judge said you can't use any of this in determining the case. This is just to see character, I don't know how they would put it, to show what his character's like, that he's always out there doing activism type stuff. So basically it was, worthless for the DA to even cross-examine him, in my opinion. Eric tore him up on quite a few answers. I don't. These charges aren't going to be dropped. I mean, we're in the final part of deliberation and everything. Yeah. Yeah, he did light him up on it. He got to say a lot of stuff, including about the videos that they brought in. He got to talk about the videos, about the stuff that they were doing wrong in them, for instance, and that he got charges on him, and he got to show some of that. So it was kind of like a mini trial before his trial for those charges. So I guess they're trying to make it look like Eric's always this way, and we need to put him in jail for this, and put him in jail for his speech. It's they still have to prove the crime. I didn't see the first day of testimony from the DA, from their side, from their case. So I don't know if they proved that he has broke the law by doing what he did. Yeah, I don't believe there was a crime either. We all saw the video. I'm pretty sure everybody saw the video. So I don't believe there was a crime involved in it. As a matter of fact, the only crime that was recorded on this was them recording Lakewood police violating 13-21-128, and the stupid cop on the stand admitting that it was his intention to block the camera. So the man just basically confessed to a crime on the stand. When that one officer got in front of Liberty to block his camera, and he literally admitted this on the stand, admitted to a crime of Colorado Revised Statute. And they danced around not saying that one, by the way. That statute, they danced around it big time. They did not want that statute on the record. Oh, here's Brighton. But yeah, let's put it this way. It just handed Liberty free money with that cop admitting this on the stand. There is no way that they can deny what he did now. So Liberty's going to get paid for it. With the cop admitting right on the stand in a court of law what he did and why he did it. Doesn't matter why he did it. He did it. The cop just put a noose around his own neck. He literally put the noose around his own neck and will owe money. Well, not him. The police department will owe money. Yeah, it's great for Liberty. Now he gets to get some free money from them, unless they want to try and deny it. And then he's got to work for it a little bit. But yeah, he admitted it. So if they want to try denying it and it gets taken to court, and hey, they'll look at that and say, oh, you did violate his rights, you admitted to it, you have to really pay him a lot more money now. Yeah, he was wearing street clothes, yes. Aggie's first. A little bit late there, Aggie. So my advice to Liberty is file the claim on it. I mean, he's like, well, what if I just file a 1983 on him? And it's like, well, he didn't arrest you or anything. You didn't get charged with anything. So your violation of rights is covered under the Colorado Revised Statute on that. He's not free, no. He's got a lot of cases he's got to take care of before he'll be free, guys. And he's got to serve that 5 months, I think. So, and get paid within 30 days. If they don't pay him and they deny the claim, I'd feel, I wouldn't feel sorry for him. I'd know that Liberty would win in court over that one, and he'd get quite a bit more money because they would knowingly not pay it when they know he knowingly violated the law, when the officer violated the law. So that's free money for him, and I'll help him, give him all the help he can on that. Then he could use that to file it on a 1983 lawsuit, on a real lawsuit that his rights were violated, that he was arrested and the charges were dismissed, because that's like a $400 filing fee just to file one of those. So have one police department fund a lawsuit on another police department type thing, right? So we got to get these guys rolling on these claims, on the 13-21-128 claims, because that'll cause a little bit of concern when their police departments have to start when the police departments have to start paying out money for some of the stuff that they do. And the fact that nobody has started putting these claims in is kind of worrisome, because it's part of why we're exposing what they're doing. It doesn't matter if they don't care, and if they pay Lady Zaga. Yeah, I'm sure they get lots of claims. The point being is all right, when I did my claims, it changed how Adams County handled me 100% after that. 100%. I no longer get flashlights into my camera. I get to record the scene. Things change because of those things. No, you file a claim with the police department, not the officer's bond. Oh, okay, Tammy. Yeah. So if they start filing these claims and start proving that these officers are breaking the law while we're trying to record them, they're not going to have such an easy time in court proving that any crime was committed while we're trying to record them. You know what I mean? Huh. That's kind of iffy about the qualified immunity on that kind of situation. You got to remember, he wasn't arrested. Liberty wasn't arrested. He wasn't charged with any crime. I mean, a lawyer can definitely advise him better than me, but my advice was file the claim and take the free money, and you don't have to spend money and years trying to get, your case in there and try to win it. You still got to go to court over it. And this is a sure win situation when you got a cop admitting it on the stand that he did that. So that's one of them things. So that's probably true, Eyes on Corruption. You could probably file that on that officer. Even after you make the claim, you can probably file it on the officer. But as I found out, the district attorneys will not take an officer to court over your claim of your 13-21-128. If they violated that law, they're not going to charge them with it. The remedy is paying the person. The police department paying the person for their officer violating that law. So it states it right in it, the remedy for it. So I don't think it's an arrestable offense. I don't think you can charge them with a crime over it, the individual officer. But well, that's interesting, Eyes on Corruption. So have to ask a lawyer here about that, exactly how that works. So, but I know that the other one's a sure bet, as in it's a factual thing that you can prove, and it's fast. I don't even think you have to take them to a federal court to sue them over it. I think it'd be like small claims type thing. Unsub press. Let me see here. Alternatively, email you at your username with no spaces. I take it, unsub press. So you're going after the pigs that shine the spotlight in your eyes. Well, it always depends on where you're at as to what laws apply. Everybody always shouts, the Bain Act, Bain Act, when you get the spotlights in your eyes and in your camera and stuff like that. And of course, that's a California only law. Just like Colorado Revised Statute 13-21-128 is Colorado only. So every state has their own laws, and some of them have no laws on it. So you have to rely on the First Amendment at that point and case law. Yeah, well, that's why we're here on here, Be Real. So all right. Oops. There you go. Yeah. All right, hang on one second here. All right, let me how do I do it on here? Hang on one second, guys. I want the label. I want No, I don't want that. How the hell? Oh, here we go. Unsub press at gmail.com. What the? Subject. Alright. There you go, unsub. I just sent you an email. And your activation code is 999871356 on 1185371. Just kidding. All right. Is it the same law for firefighters? No, it isn't. HB 111. I wish it was. By the way, since I hadn't heard any reply on that, I emailed the emailed them back like a week or so back, and I'm like, I never heard any result on that on the complaint I did, and he said that's taken care of. It'll never happen again. Is all I got back from him. I never got an apology. Nothing. They never felt that they needed to apologize to me, apparently. It's all gonna happen, Tammy. Tomorrow, Tammy. The deliberation, the closing arguments, the jury instructions are all gonna happen in the morning. They'll have all afternoon, all mid-morning on to deliberate, I'm sure. So it's not going to take them long to do closing arguments and the instructions, and then it's just deliberation. They'll probably be done before the end of the day. We'll know what happened. So now you have a recap. So it's going to finish up tomorrow. About which statute are you talking about? The 13-21-128? They were on the verge of talking about it, and they were stopped. For some reason, they don't put that statute into the record there. And I know why. It's because the one police officer violated it, probably. So we'll see, but they definitely stopped them from bringing it up. They brought up 16-3-311 about the right to record the police when they were about to bring up the other one, and it was cut off. They're like, oh wait, something else here, the real what? Oh. So, yeah. Free Rusty's daddy. Yep. That's pretty much it. So, tomorrow we'll find out the results of that. I'm still waiting on the results from my hearing, too. They have not given me the results from my hearing. I already know by the way, my name was mentioned in the trial too because I was there filming for the Fenton Street incident. So my name was mentioned, my channel was mentioned. You can bet they're going to be watching my channel too. Of course, they're going to be quite disappointed in my activism because I don't stand out there yelling at the cops like, you know, the rest of the guys do. I'm covering it for a lot more for news purposes than anything else. I mean, yeah, I'll document any violations of the law, but I don't bait them. I don't do none of the stuff the other guys do, really. Well, I don't know about the baiting part. Is it baiting when I go to Lakeside PD and stand there and record and know I'm in the right and have a Lakeside Police Department officer come up to me and say I have to leave the property? Is that considered baiting? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it isn't baiting because I happen to know the law, the officer doesn't, and I'm educating him on the law. No foul, really. Yeah, asserting rights isn't baiting. Although I can make claims on them, which I probably will, especially since he decided to push my camera down. It's my B500 stopped recording a very short time after he did that. I did not catch the full interaction on the B500, and it still had time on the video where, you know, it wasn't supposed to end there. It ended at 28 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So he must have pushed a button on the camera when he pushed it down and it did something. I'm not sure if that's his name yet, if it's Officer Prince. I couldn't get a clear view on the thing. Deliberately annoy or taunt by exercising constitutional rights. Standing there recording with the camera, an officer comes up to you while you're, you know, doing your own thing. I don't think that would be baiting at all. And looking at their looking at their vehicles, that's what same thing as they do to us, the plain view doctrine. Could they be baited into behavior they weren't given to? If you debate them, it's irrelevant. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't bait them into bad, bad behavior. I'm not the one starting the stuff. If I'm in a spot that I'm legally allowed to be in, why would it be considered baiting? I'm not even inside of buildings, like auditors are doing. That's true. I don't even do anything. Well, I do talk to him, Tammy. If I know the officer or something, I'll ask him, like if I'm at an accident scene, if I can get any details. But I'm not trying to bait him into something, that yeah, cops will bait themselves. So, I'll ask them questions, but that's not baiting them. Not the questions I'm asking them. I'm asking them in a media capacity. Can you tell me anything about this accident? Can you tell me anything that happened? Can you tell me what time it happened? Type thing. But yeah, I'm not there to bait them. I'm not there like at a post office. I'm not there at a police station. I'm not there at a courthouse trying to record a building or something and challenge them on our right to film in a public building. When I film, I'm generally on a public sidewalk. Not always, but a lot of times it's a public sidewalk. It could be a parking lot or something like we are right now. But nobody's ever asked me to leave this parking lot, so it's, not marked no trespassing or anything. That's true. If they take any kind of bait that anybody puts out, it's their own fault. It's completely their own fault if they can't keep their professionalism. That's what they're trained to do, is keep their professionalism at all times. So that's how that goes, guys. You know how it is. Some of the guys out there, it's clicks and views, So some of the people, it's activism, some of it's clicks and views. And I put out the stuff that's, the content can be boring at times, and then other times it's exciting as all hell. Like you got 10, 15 cop cars there at a scene, and there's something actually going on that is newsworthy. And then there's times where I'm driving around looking for them and can't find anything. And I put Lakewood on blast. The scene that Liberty and Munch and Defend were at last night was a shooting scene. Lakewood did not put out a press report until almost 12 hours after it happened. So that's a little bit late for the media to get there and get scene footage. Oh yeah, Tammy, that's true too. So, or drive right in front of the camera and they go after the wrong person, for instance, when the person's all over the damn road. Yeah, that guy Scott, you didn't miss much though. The deliberation will take place tomorrow. The final arguments, the closing arguments, be tomorrow, and the jury instructions will be tomorrow. So the cases are pretty much done for the attorney, the district attorney, and the defense. So those parts of it are done now. Panels, yeah, panels can be crazy. That's all about drama when they're doing panels and they're talking about stuff. That's drama. That's your clicks and views. So, mine's a different clicks and views, I guess. Mine's more of a reality. This is what it is, I'm not making the shit up. This is what you're seeing on the scene, and I'm not there to interject myself into it at any point. Yeah, he'll probably have a quicker out date than the 5 months. Okay, the judge for Eric's trial that was today and the coming up ones is Judge Munch, Christopher Munch. I did dig some stuff on him last night, and it's some weird ass shit. There was a murder case in Aurora, and the defendant's name was Owens, and the judge that was presiding over it was about to make a decision on the man's appeal. The judge had been working on it for 11 months. 11 months. And all of a sudden, he was thrown off of the case. He had passed his retirement age of 72 and had to get special permission to continue, and there was a couple months in between type thing, so it was like really, really weird, right? So they used it as an excuse to sack him, but the opinion of everybody was that he was about to grant the man's appeal and give the man a retrial. So Owens was about to win his appeal from what it looked like. So instead, they bring in Judge Christopher Munch from Jefferson County for Aurora for this case. appeal denied. Boom, right? It's like, okay, no big deal. You know, it's supposed to be a fair judge, right? All right, now here comes the hinky part, guys. Ready for the boomerang? Do you guys remember me mentioning that he found the district attorney did the misconduct and then sealed the records on it? And I think it was DA's name was Botchler or something like that. Okay. Now, the misconduct was found on the Owens case, on the same case he denied the appeal on. So how do you find misconduct from the district attorney on that case and not grant the man an appeal? And then seal the records so that nobody knows exactly what the hell happened on that misconduct. Yeah, he did run for attorney general at one point. So that's some weird shit, you know? He's doing good, soccer mom. I'll have to get him on the phone with you guys to, you know, actually talk with him instead of case stuff. Yeah, exactly, Jody. Exactly. It's like, how in the hell does that happen? You know, he's like overruling things. Yeah, it sounds like he's shady. Okay, now you want to hear something else I found on him? You guys remember the JonBenet Ramsey case years back? How many of you guys remember that case? Real famous case. Okay. All right, guys. There was 2 reporter guys working for, I think, the Globe. Is either a newspaper or, yeah, I think it was a newspaper called the Globe. Yeah, well, the kid, yeah, exactly. All right. So there was 2 reporters working for this place called the Globe, and they get a hold of the handwriting forensic expert that found, or that had possession of the ransom note. And they want a copy of it. And they offered this cop $30,000 for a copy of that piece of evidence. You know, like a photocopy. Anyways, they managed to turn this into a crime. And they indicted one of them first, and then months later, the second one. In that process, they served a search warrant on a house where one of them kept his diary. Judge Munch so Judge Christopher Munch was involved in that case as well. Now here's where this one takes a little spin. So we got 2 guys charged with crimes. Both of them, if I remember right, were felonies. So what happens? The Globe pays $100,000 donation to some journalist scholarship thing. $100,000. And all charges were dropped on one man. So justice can be bought in Jefferson County, apparently. The other man, I think his name was Miller, went to trial. And he was acquitted over it. So, no case, acquittal. but it costs the Globe $100,000 to get one man off. And I'm thinking, all right, Judge Christopher Munch's name's in this. I don't know who was the presiding judge over the case, when it was heard. But all I know is there was an agreement that if they paid $100,000 donation, they'll drop the charges on one of them. And I'm like, holy shit. Who knew if you had money that they'll drop charges on you, right? Release charges that you're not going to get. They might be related. Who knows? All I know is it's all sounding pretty damn corrupt to me. And that was only one night of doing any kind of real research on the man. But there wasn't a whole lot of research out there. Now, the webpage I found this on hadn't been touched in 12 years. This information's been sitting on this webpage for 12 years. Their last activity was 2008 on that webpage that I found this information on. So nothing ever goes away either, apparently. So you can find some interesting stuff out there if you search, and if you use the right search words as well. The case will be decided tomorrow. Well, so to recap one more time, the closing arguments will be heard tomorrow. The jury instructions will be heard tomorrow, and the jury will deliberate tomorrow. So the district attorney's case is rested, the defense case is rested, and that's all that's left. This wasn't the school one, soccer mom. This was the flashlight one with DUI stop on Reed and Colfax Street. This is the 8-second flashlight use, or 9-second, or whatever it was. The one, it's two E's on the street name, by the way. It's not EI, it's EE. That's the one where the cop drove directly at him. Well, yeah, that's true, soccer mom. The school one is the one that they sentenced him for 5 months for. So that one's already done with too. I don't know if he's appealing it or what. On the bright side, he found out how many years he could possibly face for the felony diversion thing. I forgot all the charges on that. But that one's already done with. So they had sentenced him to 5 months for that. Oh, Caterpillar, it's the links in my community section, and I don't remember if I put it into every video in the description. I think it is, for buying the sweatshirts and things. Yeah, he'll be all right. He keeps busy because he's got all these cases to handle while he's there. Looks like Monk Eye found some Lakewood to watch. I don't know, CC. I'm not sure. So Monk Eye's got some Lakewood police on his stream right now. So you guys have heard the update. So get over to Monk Eyes and watch them. Caterpillar, I hope you can find it in the description or in the community section. Maybe one of my mods can find it and post it up here for you real quick as well. Okay, do a Ghost Rider raid on Monkai. Tell him Ghost Rider sent you. Jason, can you possibly post a link for the oh, he just logged off? Really? Oh man, that was quick. He's home already? Wow, that was definitely quick. Well, we can't even do a raid on him. Yep. Oh yeah. He thought Eric was under the impression he could face up to 18 years for that felony diversion. The district attorney told him he could face between 2 and 6 years. And then he went on to say that it's possible that he might not even get any jail time for his first offense. But he certainly wants a conviction on this case. But he's stressing that the felony diversion, you know, oh yeah, it's possible that you wouldn't get any jail time for violating that felony diversion program because it's his first time. But they get that one as a conviction, and then he's facing how many other felony charges at this point? So that doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. So, can somebody post up my Teespring thing, please, for Caterpillar? Monkey's in here now. I don't see him. For a charge a long time ago, Craigslist, he had a charge. I don't even remember what he said about it. I don't remember the full story on it. But he was charged with a felony, and he took a plea instead of fighting it. And the plea was to a lesser felony, if I remember right. Otto hasn't gotten his truck back yet, no, as far as I know. Oh, it had to do with the Facebook post that he put up. That's what it had to do with. That felony had to do with, there you go, Caterpillar. There's the link. So it had to do with the Facebook post that he did, that he got charged with the felony. What do you want to post on sub? There you go, you're a mod. You can post now. I believe they said it was threats to a judge. Is that including the federal one, Lady Zaga? The new federal one that they haven't even done anything with yet? Unsub you can post. Oh, thank you, JD. And somebody gave me a super chat, and I forgot to thank them. Oh, yeah, I did thank HP 111 for that. Okay. Thank you again, though. Yeah, the new federal case. I think that one stems out of Texas. Oh. Okay, I see you on sub. Alright, so you guys had the update, which means we'll be going live tomorrow with the verdict of the trial. I'm not sure of his court schedule. No, it's a federal case against him. They added some charge out of Texas, I believe. Yes, they did find Otto's trailer. They do have Otto's trailer, but we don't have the truck, from what I know. She doesn't want to say where it's at. I don't know what's so hard to her about telling him where the truck is at, but she won't do it. Well, thank you, Caterpillar, for the $3 donation there. Yes, he knows we're all behind him. I know I'll try to get him on the phone, and I'll try to go live with him on the phone with you guys listening. He might even call tonight, I don't know. He called me last night, and I printed out a bunch of stuff to take to court today. So most of our talking was what he needed done to help him in court today. So I printed out his maps that he wanted with measurements, and I printed him out the report on Judge Christopher Munch, and then I printed out a bunch of the news stories that I found with Judge Christopher Munch's name involved in the cases. Oh, there was one more case that Judge Christopher Munch was involved with. Here's the real kicker, guys. Can you guess what kind of a case it was that he was involved with that made the news? And this was only a couple years ago, by the way. No, wasn't the First Amendment. It was a good guess. Anybody else have a guess? Everybody's like distracted. All right, the other case that Judge Christopher Munch was called in for happened on the western slope. I think it was Grand Junction area. A man made threats to a judge. So they brought in Judge Christopher Munch. Everybody's still guessing. Is it that far lagged from YouTube to you guys? I think it is. The two let me see here. Yeah, threats to a judge. A man was in jail, got out of jail, and did something else that he told the judge that he wants to go to jail for the longest possible time. He doesn't want to be out of jail. The judge gave him 18 months, and I think the story went, when he got out of jail after the 18 months, year and a half, probably did half that time, he made threats to a judge just so he could be sent back to jail. And it's like, all right, this is just weird that this man's handling cases like this. So I don't know why they're bringing him in for all these cases against judges, but it's weird, some of the stuff I've pulled up on him. So, and I do want to thank you for the PayPal donation. I believe that was JD Kotera. Yeah, JD Kotera that gave me the donation. Thank you for that. I don't know about that one. For the Schumer threatens Supreme Court judges. So none of us have been able to really talk with Eric other than on the phone. We can't talk to him at the court. So we can only talk to him when he calls us. I'm hoping to just actually have a conversation with him when he calls, to talk about his mail and, that he's getting lots of mail from people and how he's doing in the jail and things like that rather than case stuff. But of course, I'd have to tell him if I heard from my hearing, if I heard the results of it. I'd definitely have to tell him that one. That'd be my case. So we all know his case, but he doesn't get to hear stuff from the outside like that as much. I don't know if anybody's gone to visit him. He spends a lot of time doing research for his cases, so we're not interrupting him if we don't visit. If he calls us on his time when he's got time available, it's probably better, but I don't know. Yeah, Janet probably did go visit. I would bet that she did. So I put money on my account for Eric to call me, and his first phone call only cost me like $4. So I can take probably a couple more calls from him before I have to put more money on my Securus account so that he doesn't have to pay on it. So it wasn't that bad for, like 10-minute phone call. All right, everybody knows what's going on, right? Okay. All right, then we'll just go ahead and end the stream. Maybe Eric will call, maybe he won't. You just woke up, Chris? The trial will conclude tomorrow, Chris. Another day to it. You'll have an update tomorrow of the verdict of it. It isn't tonight. Probably about the call, yeah. You're probably right about that. So we'll try to keep you updated tomorrow too. I think it went well. I think it went well for Eric today. And I heard the cops were really stupid on the first day, so that probably didn't help their case at all. Okay, guys, we will catch you later. You guys have a good one.